Let's go! We back at it again. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Listen, today we're gonna be talking about separation. And I was thinking about a story, and this is a real personal story for me. And the people that are in it are real. When I was in the 9th grade in high school, I used to go to math class every day. And me and my friend Shannon, we used to crack jokes. We call it high-siding. We used to talk about people in class, talk about the jokes we heard on Def Comedy Jam, you know, but I was driven by basketball. And my geometry teacher didn't think that cracking jokes in class was funny. And she actually was like, you know, you're gonna fail the class if you don't do the work. And if you don't take advantage of the time in class, you're not gonna be successful. But since I was a varsity player, I thought, oh, as a freshman, she gotta pass me. I didn't think that I would ever fail a class. 6 weeks came around, basketball season here, we feeling good. I think we could have been the number 1 or number 2 team in the state at the time. And I didn't pass the class. And it hit me. It was the first time in my life that I did not get a chance to participate in the sport that I love because of the decisions that I made in the classroom. And when I think about separation, at 14 years old, I looked at my friend Shannon. We were sitting outside our house, and he's the same guy that I cut up in class with, the same class clown with me, cracking jokes on everybody in class, thinking since we're ball players, we're gonna get away with it. And I looked at Shannon, and Shannon will tell you this story to today. I said, Shannon, I'll never fail again in my life. He said, what? I said, I'll never fail again in my life, and I'm gonna separate myself. So in class, when you see me, I'm not gonna be sitting next to you. So let's fast forward to the story. We getting into class. I went to the teacher, I asked to be moved myself. I'm separating myself. I set my desk right next to Miss Anderson. I started going to tutorials in the morning before school instead of hanging out in the cafeteria. I started coming right after school. My grade instantly started to improve. Now back then, when you fail a class, there was only a 3-week grace period that you could become back eligible to play. I was still practicing with the team, but I had consequences after practice for failing from the coach. So I had to run sprints, suicides, you know, all these other things that go with the consequence of not performing in the classroom. When I began to separate myself, I began to see improvement, self-improvement in myself. And I started to understand at a young age that separation was necessary. And it was needed for me to improve. Now, I never failed again in class. I never failed again. I actually became a great student from that day forward. Not only did I not fail, I started accomplishing my dreams. Everything I wrote down, I set a goal, then I had a plan for that goal. I was laughing and joking, talking with my son. And I say, hey, you might have to separate yourself. At one point, you're gonna have to make a decision. You're gonna make a choice. Then I call Shannon, I say, Shannon, remember when we was 14 and I separated myself? And Shannon told him the story. And in that story, he said, man, your dad told me he would never fail again in life. No matter how big it was or how small it was, I would never fail again. I never failed. For you guys that don't know, I have a master's degree in counseling because I'm a developer. I have a bachelor's degree. I have 3 minors. I'm very educated. I'm certified. Just because you think I'm in the gym and you guys use quote unquote trainer, I'm a teacher. I'm a developer. And right now I want you to know my message is to separate yourself. Evaluate and separate. That story resonates to my heart. And I always go back to that story when it's time for me to create distance between myself and what potentially could slow down where I'm going or my goals. Separation is key. Let's lock in.